Well, hello, Bob Dendry here, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, The Long Game. So, it's been a few weeks since I put out a video. If you've been following along, I've actually moved house, quite a major move. And yeah, it's my first house that I own, so I've been obviously busy getting things organized, that sort of thing. But I am keen to get back and get recording and jump back in to our wonderful company we've got going on here. So last episode, which was a while ago, obviously, we did a lot of work fine-tuning some of our goods lines, our freight lines, things like that, which I think is going pretty well. Today, we're probably going to mix it up. We're going to do a bit of everything. But primarily what I want to look at here is the fact that we're probably lacking a little bit in some of our goods chains, especially to serve our new towns that we've just started serving along our, LA to Roseville sort of corridor here. So I'm going to start off by, I guess, aiming for some low-hanging fruit. We do have a few different feeders for a food sort of chain right here. We've got some grain, livestock, fish, and then we have our meat processing plant. And that is what I want to look at. The question from there is, where does the meat go? Because we don't have a heap of food processing plants that accept meat in this area. Really, I mean, we've got a food processing plant that we can send grain to, but the grain's a fair way over there for that to be a single sort of step. I think the closest one would be the one we're already using over here at Richmond. So I think we might hook that one up. I'm just having a quick look around the place just to make sure there's none squirreled away over here that I haven't noticed yet, and no, it doesn't look like there is. So we might send these to Richmond, where we have our existing food processing plant that we're using, and that should hopefully boost our food production. Then from there, we probably need to look at some more tools and machinery specifically. We've got our tools over here which are doing quite well. I think we've just recently put a second, I think we've put a second train on there. I believe we upgraded the line last episode and then we got distracted by other things. So right now, let's fix that and get a new vehicle on there immediately. Alrighty, so let's get an AC 6000 purchased with some box cars to keep it company. Alrighty, so single engine will still pull these with plenty of power to spare. So we'll get that purchased and we'll get that running now. I've actually got no idea where this, or what this line is called. We'll need to quickly check on that. It's a green line, we can tell that much. Spokane to Dayton tools. So there we go. That should clear that backlog there, obviously, because we got heaps there. I think we do have a few slowdowns happening here at this station, but I think it's fairly manageable. And how's things looking over at Dayton? Well, we get a little bit lost. It's looking, yeah, pretty good. Pretty smoothly things are running there, which is good to see. Cool. Now for the first leg of this connection, I think we're just going to go with a road service to get these over to our livestock farm. I'm wondering if we can run a narrow road down there and avoid having to remove any fields. I don't know how these fields work, to be honest, a lot of the time, so we're just giving this a bit of a guess to see if it works. Small country road. It looks like no, they are pretty much touching up against each other, so we might just need to remove the one field. I think we need that to make the connection, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And then we will hook that around there and then connect up to the livestock farm itself. Probably not like that. That's a bit weird. Perfect. And then we'll try that again. And we'll curve this in here, hook it in at a 90. And that should be all we need to get that service running. So we'll get some truck stations up and going. Over here as well, there's a massive truck station. We'll get some new lines set up. And we will get some vehicles purchased, which we can purchase from over here at New York. Let's try 30 and 15 on each. I think that should be good. And hopefully we should start to see a bit of grain waiting here. As we can see, we've got a few over here. Not over at this one yet, but I'm expecting those will hopefully start to pop up very soon. And while that's starting to build up, we can also connect up our service that is going to run over to our meat processing plant. This one should be a fairly easy one as well. This is a fairly quiet line. We do have a bit of freight running here, but it's not too much, so I don't expect this will be too disruptive to the passenger services running here. And yeah, we should be pretty good. I'm just going to quickly remove the overheads because I wasn't intending to run those. We've just broken a line a little bit though. So we'll just need to re-electrify this section here, and that should remedy that. All right, that little itsy bitsy little connection is made there, and then we just need to make this one over here with our meat processing plant. Once again, this should be a fairly simple one. It's a quite easy little break off we can make here, and potentially we can actually just shoot it straight through there. As you can see, we've got lots of trains backing up. This here is becoming an issue. So before we complete the other half of that livestock line, I might see if we can fix this here, because yeah, it's starting to cause a bit of problem across the whole network. We've got quite a few trains flowing into here, so I think it might be time to add a few more platforms in as well. Now what we'll do here, we'll leave this pair of tracks here for our lines running up the screen, and this pair we'll use for trains going in that direction. So that should simplify things a little bit. It should make it easier to sort of share lines, things like that. So let's pause, let's break these lines. You are not going to be happy. I was hoping you would go the other way, but that's fine. I think we should hopefully be able to fix you. And yeah, then we will sort of bend these tracks around here, hopefully skirt around that tunnel head. Don't know what that is that we were trying to do there, but I think we'll be okay. Perfect. And of course, this is going to be a little bit troublesome to make these connections work, I think, because it's just a bit of a strange sort of, I don't know, okay, never mind. It works. It is all good. And we need to switch over 2 lines to use the new pair of tracks we've added in. Okay, everything's fixed and you are okay. So you obviously you're just going to go around and do a bit of a weird loop to get back into position. That's okay. It is what it is. But this should make everything move a little bit smoother. So we'll leave that to hopefully slowly sort itself out. And that's going to allow us to finish up this connection here as well. So we'll make this a 4-track connection just to give us a bit of breathing room and a bit of capacity. But fairly simple connection here. We can pretty much just hook straight into this line, I think, without really any trouble at all. Apparently we've got a curvature problem here, which is a bit strange, but it appears to be resolved now. All right, that is sorted now, and we can get our line set up to run with that. And this is going to be the Charleston to Roseville livestock line. And how are we going here? We've got quite a bit of grain building up at our number 1 line, and number 2 not so much right now. But if we get this line flowing, this should hopefully drive a bit more demand around here as well. All right, next up, it is time to do some replacements. Now, the Metroliners. In real life, these were very unreliable trains, and I believe pretty much they got rid of a lot of the power cars and just used the trailers as coaches in a lot of instances, and I think they didn't last very long as EMUs, but I actually really like them, so they've stuck around a bit in our alternate history, but it's time for those to be retired. And we have unlocked HHPs, which were or are another, I think, locomotive that didn't end up being all that reliable either. But who knows what will happen in this reality that we live in this game here. So let's have a look and see how many Metroliners do we actually have, because we have quite a few. We've got some running these sort of outer suburban services, and I think we've got a few on some other lines as well, though we might have actually moved those so they're all running on this line now. Let's have a look. Apparently you can't actually search by what sort of vehicle they are, so we're going to need to just have a look, I guess, on our different lines and see what's running what. So we do have Metroliners running on the Chandler to Roseville via Fullerton line, which I thought we might not. We've got the Dayton outer suburban loops going in both directions. I think that's all we've really got now. So a little bit easier, a little bit quicker, I think, than I thought it might be. So that is good. That is good. But yeah, it's time to retire these vehicles. They're actually not particularly long, like 199 meters, which is interesting. So we might pop those up to 240 potentially, maybe replace these with only 4 new ones, and we can order some more if we wish to. So let's go 4 replaced. We have our HHPs somewhere around here. I don't know why it looks like this. It's a bit weird, but the actual model in the game doesn't look like that, so I don't know if that's the creator or the person who modified it has just decided to do that. Who knows? And we're going to be going with Amfleet 2 cars on this, I believe. I think I'm just going to go with all coach seating. I don't see why not, or why we'd go with anything different. These are actually going to be really high capacity trains now that we've bumped them up to 228. So definitely we don't need the 5th car, or the 5th train, I should say, at the moment. So we will get that one just scrapped. We'll sell it off. And then we'll do the same for the clockwise direction of this route as well. So this one has 5 as well. So we will once again be replacing 4 with our new HHPs, and we will retire the last one without replacing it. Perfect. Okay, so we've got some new HHPs running. I'm really happy to see some new exciting trains running on the line. Obviously, it's sad to see the Metroliners go, but that is the price of progress, isn't it? That, you know, eventually you do need to retire your old services. But yeah, those look really cool, very nice, very fast, and I think should serve us quite well. And then we've just got the remaining Metroliners on the Chandler to Roseville via Fulton line. So we'll get those ones replaced. I think we'll probably do the same as we've done with the outer suburban loops. We'll not replace all of these because I don't think we really need all of this capacity. So let's get 4 replaced and we'll scrap the remaining 2. All right, those are replaced, and yeah, let's scrap the remaining ones. And we've still got, you know, quite a bit of capacity here, and we're certainly not using all of it even now. So I think that'll be pretty good, and hopefully the high speed nature of these trains should allow us to shift a few more passengers as well. So we're a little while away from having livestock coming in here to our meat processing plant, but we may as well continue the connection on. I think we've got some fish over here. I don't think we necessarily need to make that a rail connection. We can probably make that connection with the road. So we might hook that one up as well. That'll, I guess, sort of kickstart the production, I guess we could say. Why won't you connect? I don't know. So this should kickstart our production at our meat processing plant. And obviously it's going to be a valuable sort of second source of raw materials as well. Got lost for a second there, didn't know where I was going, but we have found our way. Get a new line set up for this one. It will be the Chesapeake to Roseville fish line. And I think from here we can connect up the line and get our meat flowing over to Richmond. Question is, how are we going to connect it up? We could tunnel through here, which probably isn't the best. We should probably go around, like we're obviously doing. So we might a little bit of tunnel on the side. No, I think we'll be okay. Alrighty. We will get our line set up running from Roseville over to Richmond to take our meat. And that should hopefully boost the food production there a little bit. So we'll get a few more AC6000s running here to take our meat to Richmond. I think we should only need, once again, just a single locomotive. In fact, we might actually put on two, or maybe a stronger singles locomotive, just because these are going to be going on our main line for quite a while. And we just want to make sure they are all squared away and they're not holding anything up. So yeah, might maybe put a SD 80 on these, just to make sure, yeah, they've got that little bit extra power. And we'll run two of these, I think, just to make sure we are covering our demand adequately. Another thing I have noticed is our San Francisco wood trains are struggling a little bit. These are getting a bit old now, so I think we might upgrade them to some newer trains, and we'll use those center beam flat cars, which I believe should hopefully significantly increase our throughput here. These are 480 meters long as well, so yeah, I think we should hopefully be able to smash out some capacity here using those center beam flat cars. So that will increase it a little bit. So we'll get up towards 1200. So pretty decent increase. And we can always pop on another one should we need to increase it that a little bit more as well. While we're here as well, we can see our machinery line is overflowing a little bit as well. I'm going to partially fix this by adding some additional cargo buildings. But I think we're going to need to also boost our trains that are taking our machinery as well. As you can see, we're still overflowing with these two additional buildings running or in. We've got a problem here with capacity, and I think we're only running one train on this right now. So this is the SF to Dayton machinery line. It is what's running our machinery out of this station, and we're actually running two. So that is interesting. And there's a decent amount of capacity as well, but obviously this train is not getting the machinery through quick enough. This one here, running our AC6000 is fine. We might get this guy replaced though with something a little bit faster and better, hopefully. I've realized as well, if these aren't already 480 meters, we can make them 480 meters. So let's have a look at you. I'm forgetting how to play this game a little bit if you're noticing me clicking things multiple times and wondering why it's not working. So we've already had that thought to upgrade those to 460. Fair enough. But yes, this guy can definitely be replaced. And we can potentially pop on another one. Okay, so we might actually switch to our shorter box cars for this one as well. And we'll just see how things run like that. So this will actually increase the capacity a little bit as well. It does pop down to mediocre though. So we might actually get a second locomotive on there as well. I've just been having a look through a backlog of resources here at Laredo North, and I've noticed that the Flint freight shuttle is overflowing a little bit. A lot of bricks there waiting to go out, and we've only got one train running here as well. So what I'm going to do, we will actually get this guy replaced with something new. This is currently an electric train, and as I've mentioned before, we are going to be moving away from electric freight, as happened in real life. I don't think we have any new electric freight locomotives anyway, and we're unlikely to have any. So we'll get this one replaced and also duplicated as well. To further boost our throughput at San Francisco West, I think we're going to reconfigure the station a tiny bit. Basically, we don't really need two tracks coming from the bottom here. We can do with just the one. So we might allow this, I guess, third from... We might allow this second from the right thing. God. So I'm going to hook up this track to be accessible from top of screen as well, which should hopefully speed things up a little bit. I'll need to slightly change how the junctions work here, I think. So of course we're going to pop on a quick pause. I think we are pretty much okay to do something a bit like this. No. Too much curvature. There we go. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the primary platform that these use to, I think, platform 3 for both these. And that's going to allow us, basically why I'm doing that is because having platform 3 will allow, if, you know, it's just the one train that's coming here, that one will be able to leave without stopping other trains from coming in. So that's why I've chosen to hook it up like that. And we'll do the same for our machinery line as well, which apparently is only linking up to one platform right now, which is probably not the wisest decision. But hopefully that will slightly boost our throughput. And we will just need to switch our silver train to run on... Actually, no, that is fine. It's already running on the correct track. So we can unpause there, and that, yeah, should slightly, hopefully, boost what's coming through that station. And as always, when we unlock and put a new train into service, we of course have to hop aboard and check it out with a ride along. So we're going to be running on the Chandler-Roseville via Fulton line on our new HHP hauled service. So hope you enjoy. And here we are arriving at Fullerton. So we're going to hop off the train here. But yeah, that was I would say quite a good ride along. These HHP 8s are pretty fantastic. We were getting, quite high speeds up towards like 180 on some of our longer, straighter sort of stretches of track. So yeah, I'm really happy with how these have transformed the line, and I hope you enjoyed the ride along. Well, that is going to be about all we have time for in this episode, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you get a ding to your device the next time I post a video. So should be hopefully getting videos out a bit more regularly now that the whole move is well on its way to being finished. Still got a lot of organizing to do at the new house, but yeah, I think should be able to get back into it. Thank you so much for your patience while I've been, sorting out that sort of stuff. So yeah, big shout out to my Founders Club patrons, Caleb and Isaiah. Thank you so much to the two of you for helping to make this content possible. But until next time, I'm Bob Dendry. This is Transport Fever 2, The Long Game. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.